Morning. Today is April 1st. Today we are doing a walkthrough for our 2026 Heritage Glen 314 Bud, or BUD there. All right, we'll start up front here. We're going to have our electric leveler here. This is also going to come with a lovely hitch light up front for all your hitching at night purposes. The leveler does level front to back on the camper itself. Along with that leveling system, you're also going to have stabilizers, 2 on each side, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, so total of 4 in total. And they'll be controlled by these little retraction and extension boards here. Usually I save this for a little bit later, but I did want to show you because I'm talking about the leveling system, how the leveling system works. So we're raising this up all the way here. That is the position she will sit in when you are in travel. That is the position you'll need her to be in. Front and backwards as well. Like I said, you'll have this button here to extend and retract. To extend, press the extend button there. How it works is they let down one of these sides is going to hit the ground first, measure where the ground is located, and then once that is hit, the other side will go ahead and measure as well. Now these might work in tandem, but as you can see, she hit a little bit earlier, stop. She hit a little bit earlier and stop. Once you hear that whirring sound there, that go ahead and stop letting your camper down, because now she's carrying the front portion of the weight of your camper, so you don't have to worry about it there. Coming back up front to our front end here, behind our electric level jack, you're going to have both of your 20-pound tanks. They are both full. You also have a lovely converter in the middle, so you're able to pull gas from either side by just turning this nozzle up here. Now, with that nozzle there, you also have the ability to just cut one of these tanks off. Like for instance, we love to cut one tank off and leave one tank on, so this left one is completely on, turn all the way to the left, because let's say we are using our hot water, or using our furnace or our stoves or our outdoor grill, we happen to run out of gas. You no longer have to run out here and fill up both of these tanks together. All you'll have to do is fill up this one tank, come over, turn this nozzle either to the middle or to that right side there, and then you know for a fact we have a full tank here and an empty tank here, so I only have to fill up one tank, and then I'm operating and switching between the two when I need it. It's also going to come with a lovely tank cover as well. You'll have this here, the tank cover. To be mindful, this is a little bit of water they are cleaning outside today, so that's all it is. With that tank cover, you're also going to have these nozzles you can pull on to be able to open the top up, being able to see on the inside, so you don't have to pull this tank cover off every single time you need to access these terminals here. Coming around back, we will have our interstate battery. That cover is also off, but this does come with the cover as well. This is a fully charged battery. You will have your wires hooked up on there. Coming around here, we're going to have one side of our through compartment, so this does come out all the way on this side and store it on this inside here. We're going to have a few things. So up top, we're going to have our stabilizer jack, so you can attach this to your stabilizers if your electric components do stop working. If they do stop working, you can pull that little black cover off that's on the front end of it. It's going to have a little lug nut on there. You can twist that lug nut down or up to bring that stabilizer down or up. Down there at that end is going to be your jack and your awning jack, manual one as well, and you will be able to let down your jacks. Let down your awning and opening your slides with this here. Now under us, we're going to have our solar controller. This camper does have solar on it, so with reading this controller, I'll just press back to make the screen come up light. It'll tell you a few bits of information. This is just the overall temperature and the absorption that's going into the solar itself. That transfers to let you know the voltage of stored in that solar, and then from there we'll be able to see the voltage of the battery and the amperage coming out of said battery there. Should be able to read those there. Next to that is going to be our battery disconnect. Now this will cut off any 12-volt item, so switches, your main control board, furnace, things of that nature in that 12-volt section. It will cut those off when this is turned to the off section, so it does not drain from your battery. So if you aren't using your camper for long stints of time, let's say you're storing her for the winter or you're done with your travels for the time being, pull this lever here with your camper unplugged. Everything on the inside of your camper will be disconnected from the battery, so you don't have to worry about draining, nor do you have to worry about going to the front end and disconnecting your terminals from your battery. So you can be able to do that right here just by turning this nozzle to the off, and then you will stop draining from that battery there. Once again, do be mindful that even if this is unplugged, if your camper is plugged up to a short cord, you're still using that power. The power is just alternating to the 110 now. So this is mainly just for your battery when she is not unplugged. I mean, your camper when she is not unplugged and just running off of that battery power. This is a latch closed door. She's held on by magnets. You can just pull her down. Like I said, there's a latch closed. You literally just let her fly open. She will fly closed and she will slam close on her own. Right here, we're going to start with our label. So you're going to have a label for all of your wastewater tanks, as well as your black tank, gray tank. So your sewage is going to have a label. Your water service area will also have a label as well. If this is your first camper, then you have 2 tanks on this side here. It's going to be your gray and your black. Your gray is just going to be for used water. So anything coming from your sink, your faucet, your or coming from your shower will be going through your black tank, your gray tank section here. Your black tank is going to be all your dirty water. So anything coming from your toilet in itself, that will be stored in your black tank, and then when that valve is pulled open, then it will be coming out from that black side. Now, you can just use these valves here by pushing them in and pulling them out. The in position is closing that tank off. Think of it like a little gate valve there. This is the valve, this is the gate valve. Pulling that out, she'll lock into place here. When you push her in, she'll lock in, covering that that hole there. Same thing for our black tank on the other side as well. Coming down the side here, we're going to have another sewage area. We're going to have, excuse me, 2 more gray tanks and another black tank there as well. The valves still work the exact same as the front as well. The only difference between this one and that one is you can see that you have a lovely sewer cover on the front here. You do have one down there as well. This one's just attached, and she will be hanging on by a little string there that is attached to the system. But that cover does need to be on and covering this drain when you are in travel. It's also beneficial to have that on when you are not, when those valves are closed. Just having it on in general is your best bet, so you know you're not leaking and letting anything out of your camper. Just in case you were to possibly have a leak down the line, that is just a good safety measure for that. It's just kind of having that drain cover on there. Like I said, we keep it off for safety and testing purposes, but that is your best bet there. Coming around back here, I'll start on this side. You will have some satellite and cable hookups right here to be able to hook up and use for the inside of your camper. Down here at the bottom, you're also going to have a place for your license plate and tag. This is going to be your 50 amp short cord. This will be stored with the camper in that front compartment up there. You are graded with a tow hitch here, so you are able to tow things behind the camper itself. And it does have information for that tow package right here. Maximum load capacity is going to be 250 on this tow hitch, so do be mindful of that as well. Do not tow any vehicles using this hitch, so also be mindful of that. So no full-blown cars from there. It's really just for your smaller ticket items, your Can-Ams, or possibly your dirt bikes or mopeds, or possibly a golf cart, but nothing of the larger nature. Now we move up top here, we're going to have our outdoor shower. You will come with a shower head here, and she can also be stored just like that for our service needs. Left is to the hot, right is to the cold, that she does operate and function. Below our outdoor shower here, let's see, let's just move this out the way, is going to be our service bay for our water connection. So to our left here, we're going to have our city water connection. So this is directly from line, down, straight into our port, straight to your fixture. So when I go inside and I cut those fixtures on, you're immediately getting that water through the pressure of your line. Now next to that is going to be our freshwater connection. This will go directly from line to port to your freshwater tank. So it'll fill your tank up on the inside, and as you engage on the inside, I can show you to where you're able to measure and gauge how full your tank is going to be. This is going to be if you're boondocking or do not have access to this city water connection here, or a constant hose. You fill this tank up, your water pump is what's going to power that tank and circulate that water to your fixtures. Now, once again, once we get on the inside, I'll be able to show you all those controls here. But for the time being, we'll move on to our next section, which is going to be our black tank flush. This black tank flush right here is going to clean out your black tank. Simple method. All of these have the same open hose ports. So you'll attach a hose here. You'll come back down to our sewer section. So you'll come to this side here, pull that black tab, and you'll come up to this front here, and you'll pull this black tab as well, and make sure both of the covers are off of your sewer section. And you're doing that because, once again, you're flushing out your black tank. So when your black tank is filled up, it can damage that water just sitting in there, and they're constantly going. It can backfire and fill up your toilet. So definitely make sure that you open those valves, you make sure those covers are off, and then when you come back on this side, you can cut your water on, and she will flush everything out of your black tank in that way. I'll just store this back right here. Now, up top above us, you are wired for a backup camera. It is compatible with the Furrion system. So if you do happen to find the exact Furrion camera, it will work on here. It's very plug and play. It's one cord. You pop this cover off, it's 4 screws, and then you'll be able to attach your camera to that system up top. You also have a place for a Lippert back ladder for the back of your camper. You will need to order this. You can scan that QR code that's going to be on there and get the direct Lippert ladder from there as well. Now, coming around to our side here, we're going to have our outdoor area here for our outdoor kitchen. You also have another stabilizer down here at the bottom to let up and bring the stabilizer control down at the bottom to let up and bring down the stabilizer. One mini fridge back here. It's usually a moment where I say stick your hand in, feel how cold she is. She is cold. There she is working and operating. You have your temp controller up top here to adjust from coldest to the off setting, and she does come with the lovely can soda dispenser as well. Closing her back just like that. We are also going to have an outdoor sink just in case we need her. Some storage up top here as well, and then a couple of rocker lights. Now, for these rocker lights, they are motion censored, or they can just be on the on setting. So you're going to see 2 different settings on there. The one line is just on, whereas the double line is going to be our motion. So every time this opens up, every time it senses a person coming by this area, she will cut on. For the time being, I will leave her on the motion. Over here in this corner, we also have a couple of USB-A outlets, as well as a GFCI protected outlet there. And then for the money maker here, we're going to have a lovely bottle opener right here. I'm just kidding, April Fools. We're going to have our lovely outdoor grill here as well. This does connect with a quick connect to your LP here, down to our quick connect that's at the bottom of the camper. Now, our quick connect is how we attach any outdoor grill, or if you have your own personal grill, attach that to our LP system. So as you can see, you have this little port here. You will have a hose that does attach to said port, and then you're going to have the port connection under the camper as well. I always say look for the little tag, so when you come down the camper, you don't have to look too far. As you can see, there's a little white tag hanging down here at the bottom. So when you drop down and look, this tag will be attached to our LP connect. You can pop this little cover off. As you can see, this is a little port, so you'll push in, stick her into that port there, and then you'll be able to let go, and that gas will properly flow through that line there. Once that port is attached, once again, you can attach her to our outside port here, and you'll have gas at your outdoor grill. Now, a little trick of the trade for this grill itself. As you can see, she's not currently hooked up, but these are going to be the settings that you do see. You heard a little click there. That's going to be your igniter, and how that flows and cuts on and ignites that gas that will be coming from our system, so that we're able to use it. Like your inside grill, like your inside stove, she's either going to cut on or she's not. So what I like to do is I like to turn her over and press in, so I know for a fact I'm pulling gas or LP through my quick connect and forcing it to come to this line. So it may take me a few seconds, 10 to 20 seconds to kind of fully get that gas in here so we know she's properly running. But in doing it that way, you can guarantee that you're not wearing out your clicker or wearing out your igniter button by constantly clicking her over, Now, do be mindful. You can just constantly click her over and she still will ignite in some time. But if you do it the way in the method I was talking about, do be mindful that when you're pressing and holding in, once this gas hits this top portion here in these eyers, those eyers will be releasing gas into the air. That gas will fill up and then seep out. So when you do go to ignite, be mindful that you may have a flare up that flares out over the sides. A quick flare up, but you know that your grill is going up. But I say that because this is a plastic cover here, and if you have anything that is or can be flame retardant around it, or that's not flame retardant around it, then you are going to burn something down. So I'll let people know to be mindful about that method if you do happen to just kind of press and hold her in, because I'll show you the exact same way on the inside as well. She just slides back in just like that there. And then above us, the door is on shocks. So I always say pull from the middle so you don't damage the shocks on either side. And she closed down just like that there. As you can see, your LP Quick Connect label is right there. And I already showed you before, she is hanging down up under the camper here. Now, you are going to have two entrances into your camper. This one here and that one on that side. As you can see, these entrances also come with different stairs, but they have the same exact door. I'll start with the stairs on this one here. Very simple. It has instructions here. Pull it open. Once that side is down here, pull on this side here. Now you have stairs down. To get this door open, you'll pop this door guard over. It's also a little handstand, so you'll be able to get up into the camper. And then you'll pull this door here open, allowing you to enter the camper from here. Now this does go into our back bathroom here, so this will enters into from the bathroom to the living room. But you are able to do that there. I'm gonna leave this door open for the time being, and I'm gonna slide down here to our other door, because they are the exact same door. They work the exact same way, open and closing. But one thing you do need to be mindful with these doors is their positioning. This one you're A-okay, because you do have that full free space to open and expand this door without worrying about damaging it. The only thing you need to worry about hitting is going to be this black tank flush cover, or this black tank flush area on the back side here. And once again, even then, you're close enough to the wall so this thing can lay flat without damaging and falling back into itself. Now, for this door here, she's a little different, because as you can see, she is right there up against our awning. So that's something you want to be mindful of when we are opening and closing this door, is going to be the positioning of our awning here. If we have to access the back bathroom door at any point and this awning is closed, and we go around and we try to use the awning on the front and this door is completely open, it will block this awning from coming out. It can damage the arms, and it also can damage the door. But if our awning is fully extended and this door is in the way, once this awning closes or goes back, she can get caught on the top of the door frame. The door can get caught on the awning, therefore damaging the awning or damaging the frame of the door. So do be mindful when you are putting your awning in and out. There is a little bit of space. You don't have to worry too much about it, but 90 degrees is your best friend in regards to letting this awning in and out when this door is open. So I'll close her here. I always say when we are closing doors, it's your first camper, you don't want to push against the lock itself. So that lock does latch closed without you having to slam on the side or slam on the top. And we'll make our way back down to these stairs. Now these stairs are different from the other one. As you can see, once again, this door does allow you to be all the way open and out the way. Perfect, and that's going to be perfect for these stairs as well, because these stairs come with lips on the side that do lock it into place. What I like to do is raise her up. As you can see, she does have some feet down here. These feet also have a little metal leveler on it, so do be mindful of that as well. But I like to raise her up, give her a shake. As you can see, the ground is a little wet, so I give her a shake, get that water off, get any rocks that might be stored in this bottom portion here. Then I'll raise her and I'll walk her in. give her a little push. Like I said, she'll lock here. This latch will lock behind the back part of that frame there, and this will sit against the lip there. Now, with these stairs, you'll pull to get them down, you'll pull this latch, and you'll pull on this handle or any portion of the stair there, and be able to let these stairs down. One thing I will let you know is these stairs do not come with a shock to absorb the weight of them. So when you are letting them down, you are carrying the entire weight of these stairs. So do be mindful when you're letting them down, not to just drop them on yourself and harm yourself there. But they do go down just like that. The other thing to kind of take heed to is, once again, those levelers. We're okay now because she is at a proper level to where she will not hit nor damage the door frame, but these level feet can extend far enough to where they can hit the top of that door frame. One trick or treat that I like to do is when I'm going to put my feet, when I'm going to put my stairs in, I just go ahead and drop my feet down, so I know for a fact they don't hit nor touch that door frame up top there. And then when I go to put my camera, go to put the stairs back down, I let those level feet out. It's easy measure for the ground. And then I give her a quick lift up, and she'll lock those feet in place there. Now coming back down to this side, we did skip over a couple of things. This is going to be our outdoor furnace area. So this is going to be our exhaust and our inlet for our furnace. The furnace is going to be in the back end of this. Do be mindful this area can and will get hot. I say do be mindful because we're right here next to our 110 and some more satellite and cable outlets here. So for your outdoor grill and an outdoor fun area, your grill is there, but if you want to have a TV and stuff, you probably will need to plug it up in this area, in this vicinity here. So she can get hot, she can get damaged, she can get hot in this area. It will, because you also have your water heater on that side, and we'll get there in a second. But with this furnace here, you definitely want to make sure you get yourself a nice little cover that goes over the front here. They make magnetic ones, they make ones that screw in, but that'll prevent the mud doppers from making any babies or making any nests on the inside of there, blocking that that airflow. So definitely get you one of those if you have the ability to do so. And like I stated before, this is going to be our on-demand water heater. Now with these on-demand water heaters, that means they do not come with tanks. So this is a tankless water heater, so you don't have to worry about filling that tank up, using that hot water, waiting for that tank to fill back up again, and using that hot water. Or you also don't have to worry about flipping through those electric and gas components. They're all already integrated, already built into the system here. It goes from the line to our water heater to our systems. And I'll show you more on the inside about that controller. Main thing I know on the outside here is going to be, this is your on and off switch for your hot water heater. You also have a fuse here up top, and then you're going to have a little pressure gauge down here at the bottom, allowing you to test and see where that, if that water is hitting your tank already. It also is a good place to go ahead and bleed the water out of your lines, or help bleed the water out of your lines if you're ready to winterize. And that is there. Like I said, I'll show you the rest of those controls on the inside. So let's make our way to the inside here. We're going to start here with our control board. Our control board up top, it's going to show our gauges. So it's going to have our gauge for all of our tanks. So our fresh, our 2 black, and our 3 gray tanks. You'll be able to see where they do sit at. As you can see, there is a little bit of water in our fresh tank. So if I were to go over here and cut on our water pump, then I'm able to use that water from our freshwater tank with no problem there. Now up under that, you're going to have our switches for our lights. So it's going to be our main light above our head. This is going to be the line lights there. Our awning light on the outside there. This was going to be this awning light up top there. And then you have your lovely accent light here that's going to go above the slides themselves. Next to that, we are going to have a tank heater. So this is going to be a little pad that runs up under your tanks, and this is going to allow you to heat that water up in those tanks in case we are in the winter time and you happen to forget there's water in there and it freezes over. You don't have to worry about damaging that tank completely. You can go over there, cut this tank heater, and it'll heat that tank up, freezing and thawing out that water on there. Next to that is going to be our water pump. So if we don't have access to our city water connection and we're boondocking, or we're just ready to winterize, you come over here to our water pump, cut this on, and it'll allow you to pull that water, that winterization from your pump to your fixture, from your tank via your pump to your fixture. This camper also does come with a Bluetooth connection as well, so you're able to connect your phone to it. This is going to be our awning extension and retraction. And then these are going to control our bunks. So you do have your main bunk here, and then you're going to have your back bunk on the back bunk there. No, not main bunk, I apologize. Your main slide here, and your back bunk slide is going to be back there. Now with your awning, third time is a charm with this door. Won't let her out all the way. As you can see, she is a bit windy today, so we're actually going to let her in a second. But there are going to be 2 measures for stopping when you're letting your awning all the way out. So when she is all the way to her end point, you're going to see one and a possible thing. And I say possible because it could possibly not happen. We'll start with that possible. Now, one thing that could possibly happen is a flap is going to drop down. If it's raining, if it got wet, if you had cleaned your awning, if water had gotten on it, it's a possibility that flap could also stick to the inside of this awning here. So you may not see it. One thing you will see at all times is going to be an aluminum bar that does come across when this awning is at its full extent. The moment you see that aluminum bar on the full extent there, you're going to want to stop letting this awning out. If you do not stop letting the awning out, she does have the possibility of rolling back on herself and rolling back towards the camper. So do be mindful of that when we are operating our awning. And once again, we're just going to go ahead and retract her here so you're able to see it in operation. And like I said, just being mindful of that door there. She is closed all the way and out of the way, so we don't have to worry about this awning hitting that door there. Now coming back into our control board here, next to it we're going to have our Bluetooth system. So this is going to hook up after being cut on to our Bluetooth speaker here, as well as our Bluetooth speaker here. You have the Bluetooth settings here to cut out, to change the speaker and or cut them off. And then you have a lovely light to cut on and utilize for this area here in case you want to cut those off. This does also come with the USB-C connection, so you're able to directly connect your device to the speaker itself. And so that is nice there. Once again, that power button is to cut her off. Now, moving on from our main control board here, I'll swing her around. You have a lovely coat hanger section there into our living room. This is going to be our living room here. It's a Sansui TV. You're going to have your TV remote. She will be stored with your package. Underneath that TV, you're also going to have an electric fireplace. Now, with this fireplace, it can be used as just ambiance. Like as of right now, there is no heat coming from it. But if you wish to cut on the heat, you do have the remote control to press and then change that heat setting from low to high, therefore cutting her on. You also have the ability with this same remote to press and change the lights here, as well as your flame design on the back time. And then it does have a timer. I'm gonna cut that off with this remote here. If you happen to lose this remote, this is a small little hand remote. It is little tiny, so if you happen to misplace this, all of the buttons on the unit itself will also work for functioning the fireplace here. And this remote will also be stored with your TV remote. Coming around the back side here to our kitchen, you're going to have a little bit of storage up front here. When we come around, we have our sink on this side here, as well as our camper booklet. This booklet is going to house all of the information for all of your appliances in the camper. So if you do have any questions or concerns that I miss or that the sales reps don't reach for you, you can access this pamphlet here, and this will have all of your utilities: fridge, stove, TVs, fireplace, microwave, everything you can ask a question about with your camper will be in there. and you will have information for it. Under that, we're going to have a lovely grate, and that will cover this sink here. A nice little accessory there. And then we'll move on to our stove here. Now, this is, like I said, like an outdoor grill. So she's either going to cut on or she is not. Turn your, push your ignition in or push your gas line in. Turn her over to the flame there. Once it is on that flame, that's going to be our pilot light. You'll turn your igniter over. Once that igniter is turned over, you'll get gas to that line there. Now, she's a little easier with two hands than she is with one. So give me half a second here. Might not be able to see directly, but basically what we're going to do is hands. We're going to push into our gas line here. So when we push into our gas line, we'll turn her over. When she does turn over, you'll get a red indicator light letting you know there is gas currently coming through this eye here. Once that is pushed in, I'll go over to my igniter with my other hand, turn her over. Now we have gas properly flowing. Once that is over, I'll turn past the ignite flame onto my high setting, and then it goes from high to low there. So as you can see, she is on. You will get this lovely indicator light letting you know there is gas flowing through this line here, and the same for your other eyes there as well. So same thing, push in, turn over to that pilot light, turn over once with my igniter. Once that is fully through, I turn her over to high, let her sit. Now we know that's running. Same thing for this one here. Boom, we got her going. And as you can see, we do have all three eyes going. Now the difference between this and your oven is just going to be a pace of time. Your your stove will get that gas a lot faster than your oven will, so it may take a little bit of time. So putting her down here, same thing, but different. You cut the igniter on, and this is going to have numbers on the side for your temperatures, rather than those just high, low knobs there. But you'll push that in just like that, of that nature. Once this is pushed in, you'll go over to your igniter, and you will do the exact same thing like I said before, and ignite. Once that igniter has caught that gas, I don't know if you can see this little blue light here at the bottom that's flickering, but that is letting you know there is a flame going. What I like to do once that flame is going is turn this all the way over. It is going to take it to the max setting of our oven, so do be mindful of that, and it's a little bit past 475. But now from here, I know every one of my holes has gas going through them. So all I need to do now is turn down the knob, and I can adjust for whatever temperature I would like to sit at from there. And I'll cut her off just like that. Now this system also does come with a couple of lights. You do have blue indicator lights up here, as well as a lovely oven light down at the bottom. Now with the oven light, it will also cut on our main light. So it's kind of like a dual and tandem light, like our motion lights on the outside in that grill area too. So cut that on, you'll cut on all of our lights here. It is a lovely safety indicator. I love to keep these lights on just so I know when I've touched and when I'm going to touch my oven. But we'll get more into that when I get through my safety spew a little later. Now, another thing about this oven is going to be the cover. This is a glass, tempered glass, but is a glass cover. So do be mindful of that when we are in travel. One, this area needs to be cooled down. So I don't know, you see me a little earlier, I put my hand over each eye, making sure that they're cooled down enough so I can put this glass cover down without worrying about her cracking or breaking. Because one of the most annoying things it's doing is getting little glass pieces out of these little holes here. So make sure that they're not hot enough to damage. And I'm going to put this cover down because I am ready for travel. Now this cover is down. She does have a soft spot to kind of lock in there. She is down. She is able to be utilized for travel. I don't have to worry about this plastic piece knocking against this back glass, this front glass, and breaking it. Because one funny thing about these two is they usually never break in tandem. Usually one half breaks or the other half breaks, and that's more annoying than just having one half break. So definitely make sure this is down when you are in travel. On the opposite end of that, this can also be used as extra counter space. Now make sure it's not overtly heavy, because once again, she is glass, but also make sure she is not hot. If she is hot, she will crack the glass, therefore breaking it. So do be mindful of that as well. Above our stove is going to be our microwave. This works like every residential home microwave has ever worked. I already had it preset at 29 seconds, but start, you'll see she counts down. Does all the bells and whistles of what a microwave is supposed to do. Open her up, beautiful. You also have this lovely light and fan here too as well. I did not forget her. And then next to us here is going to be our fridge. This fridge is going to have the latch on the left-hand side. Pull on it just like that. And our freezer, you'll be able to see on the inside here. Usually this is where I go, hey, look, you put your hand inside, you'll be able to see how cold she got, but I'll just give her a quick little swipe so you can see the condensation kind of go up from there. You are going to have a controller on the back side here sitting at an optional to be able to, optimal, I apologize, optimal. So that's going to be the level that you probably want to have it at, but you can put it colder than what it needs to be or heat it up as well. Same thing for our fridge here. You have your temp controller right there. Closing this back here. Now, one thing I do want to let you know about the solar system is you are wired for solar. So solar kits charge your batteries, meaning you already have the solar controller hooked up. Once you get the solar panel will function in charging that front battery up front. So I do want to let you know about that as well. Underneath all of this is going to be our breaker box. Now in this breaker box, we're going to house both our short cord and 110 components, as well as our fuse components. So down here at the bottom, they'll be like your regular home breaker system. You have your main, your ACs, your GFCIs, anything running off of our short cord or our 110 will go through these main breakers here. Now, like your car, you do have these fuses that run through your 12 volt or run through your battery. And it's going to be labeled all listed out all right there. Now the fun thing also about these breakers is you do not have to go looking to see which breaker is bad. You will get a lovely indicator light in between here letting you know which breaker is bad or off or not properly placed into the circuit itself. So that's a nice thing there. Closing this back. We're going to move over to our AC unit right here. To get her to wake up, you'll tap this button here to pull her alive. Tap that same button here to adjust for the modes. You'll also use that same button to do your confirmations. So you're able to slide over to cool, heat, cool, dry, cool, and then the off setting. Once you found the setting you like, you'll go hit tap it to confirm, and then for some of it, it'll pull you over to your fan setting here. You're able to adjust between high, low, auto, high, low, those of that nature, and then hit that same button to confirm. Now to adjust the overall temperature coming out of your unit, you'll turn the nozzle itself without tapping, and you'll see what she's currently set to adjusting on that side there. Now this unit here will also house your furnace stuff as well. So I'll click her to pull the mode, I'll change her over to heat, tap to confirm, and she'll switch over to that furnace there. As you can see, she's set to 99. Once that furnace is on, your furnace is stored right under your stove here, right under your fridge here. You can hear it going off. And then once you see any of these little black outlets on the floor there, that is going to be where your hot and heat will be coming from. But once again, to change that mode, we'll tap to wake up, tap to turn over, and then I'll cut her back on cool, and I'll leave that fan setting on low. And like I said, that's sitting on 39 there. Now your furnace is a part of that LP system, so it will be pulling gas in, so do be mindful if you happen to run out of gas. It will not function your furnace properly. You won't get proper heat because that does run off of that gas there. The same for your hot water heater. Now behind door number 1, we're going to have our back bathroom as well as that extra entry door we were talking about beforehand. So on the inside here, you do have this lovely cover to cover up the locks if we're just utilizing the screen. Maybe you can open that there and you can just pull this lever and that will open the door out into the world. We have our lovely sink, and then we have a beautiful pendant light here as well. And then our main control light above us. Nice thing about this is you also get a fan and vent, so you can open this vent up by pulling on this lever, pushing it all the way to the side, and then fan out any of your worries from this bathroom through this here. Pull that lever back, that closes your fan and that closes your vent up. Do be mindful, this is not a weatherized vent, meaning there is no umbrella symbol in the corner, meaning that if it starts to rain, you will still have to manually come over here and pull your vent closed yourself. Over to our dining room. We are going to have our lovely dining area here with our sectional seating, as well as our couch. The switch above is going to control our main lights on this side here. But if we come back down to this light here, she is controlled by a little push button. So you're able to push that little push button and operate her just like that. We'll close this door and make our way into our back bunk. So the main thing about this bunk is going to be, close this here so we can get all the fanciness. You have your light here for the main bedroom by the door. You'll also have a light for your bunk under here as well. Now, you do have the ability to use this as just regular seating. As you can see, that top bunk up top is just pushed back. So you do have this Versa bunk system. But if I were to come over here, pull on this lever and drop her down, we now have ourselves a top bunk to utilize. Now for the next portion, I'm gonna raise her back up, locking her into place. You're gonna have a latch on this side, allows you to lock her in place. You'll also have a latch on this side as well that takes the weight off, so it allows you to lock her in place. So she's now supported by both of those latches. So I can show you, this is also a Versa mattress. So you can adjust this, well not also, this is your Versa mattress. So you can adjust this, turn this into a mattress area. You'll start by removing these lovely cushions here. I like to store them up top if you had nobody on this side for this other mattress, because it gives a nice little aesthetic. But you also can use these as pillows to your liking. Once this is set, you have a strap on the back. It's going to be one on this side and one on the other. You'll pull that said strap, and then you can drop her down, and on the bottom portion there you will have a lovely mattress to use. Once again, that also can be dropped down, so you will have this back mattress as well as that sleeping up there. So this sleeps 2, that sleeps 1, this sleeps 2. So you will have the ability to have at least 5 in this general vicinity as well. Now this is also a removable mattress, so if you want to have like a little dog crate area back here, you can have that too. This mattress is not tied down to the floor, so she can be utilized in different locations. To get her back up, you literally just fold her back over and she sits back just like that. And then you can just pull your cushions back down and they'll go and prop right back into place. And boom. Now you have a lovely couch seating area in your back bunk as well. Also some USBs and some outlet over there. And then that is our back bunk there. Now making our way around, we'll make our way around to our front bathroom. This is going to be our main bathroom here. So you're going to have toilet like you have in the back. One thing I did want to mention about these toilets is, if this is your first camper, one thing you're going to learn is no toilet will ever come with a P-trap in it at all. So when I pull this lever here, you're looking directly into your black tank there. Cool, she's flushing and everything's going to your black tank. But with that open, if I just close her back, yes, a little bit of water will stop in the middle there, but you are going to want to make sure that you do press on this lever a little bit more and let as much water as you can stand into your bowl. What I'm doing now is basically creating an artificial P-trap. So I'm doing everything I can to block that gas and those gaseous smells from coming back into our camper with this place of water. Because that's basically what natural P-traps do. They'll store a little bit of water in that little hole, make a little U-shape, and that's how they'll block that gas from coming up. So you do want to make sure that you have some here, also on that back toilet, so we can stop those smells from coming back into your camper. Do not worry, this is not used water. This is not water coming from our gray tank. This is not water coming from our black tank. This is fresh water. So anything coming from your boondocking, so your freshwater tank, or anything coming from your city water connection. So as of right now, this is directly from the line, and this is essentially your fixture here. From here, move over to our shower. You do have this lovely shower that does close as such. Just like that. You also have the ability to open it back up. Lifting that handle will cut on your water system there. Left is going to be hot, right is cold there. And then we'll move over here to our main sink area. Now the difference between this area and our other one, not this light, this light still does work like normal, but it's going to be our hot water heater controller right here. Now, like our stove, like our had a brain fart. Like our stove, like our furnace system there, this does run off of LP as well. So it does utilize gas to function. Presser the cutter on. As you can see, there is a preset temperature on there for 87 degrees. You do have your button here to adjust that temperature. That's just reading whatever the standard temperature was of your camper, so do not be mindful of that. That's just the output temp. But you can adjust what temperature you would like your camper water to go to, and the max is going to be 122. So you're able to set that to your liking. I would like in a 118, so I'll set it there. If you would like to, you can also change this over to Celsius. There. Now, to worker, cut this thing on to hot water, and let her do her magic. So we have a couple of diagram symbols here. What this is showing you is there is hot water, there's water running on the end there. Is that you know that there's water circulating through your hot water heater, and then that flame there lets you know that the gas has been caught by its igniter, and we are currently heating our water up. Now you do have a reader up top that's going to let you know the current temp of your water. But of course you also can just stick your hand in the hot water and she is already hot. Now, this is an on-demand water system. So whenever you cut your system on, whenever it's probably circulating through your system, you will get hot water to it. But do be mindful. Temperatures outside will adjust and will fluctuate and adjust how fast you get hot water to your system. Let's say it's 100-something degrees. Cool. You'll get hot water immediately. Matter of fact, this will raise me up above the set temperature to match wherever that water is and then bring her back down to your set temperature. If it's 30 degrees outside, same thing but in reverse. You'll get hot water, but it'll take a little bit of time for that hot water to become immediate because we're coming outside from cold water hoses. So do be mindful of that as well when we're ready to use our hot water. Now those symbols I'll show you a second ago. I'm gonna cut your shower real quick. Those symbols I showed you a second ago are also proper ways to diagnose if your hot water heater is working or not working to its right benefit, or not working in the right way. If you don't see that flame at the end, you can assume, hey, we're not either not getting proper gas, or we don't have our igniter's not working. In the middle, hey, we're not getting any circulation through our hot water heater. And at the end, if it's not reading those water running, well, guess what? You don't got no water running. So this is also a place you can come to kind of pre-diagnose your hot water heater if you cut her on and realize something's not going on. So come over here and Devin, take a look. Cut the shower off again. And once again, this is a part of that gas system. So your hot water heater can get a couple of error codes. Outside of this diagram here, just not properly functioning, you can get an E1 to E6 code. E1, E2, that's A-OK. That's usually either gas, or that's usually either you have air in your line, that's usually either you have no water properly circulating through your tank. Once again, those are fairly simple fixes. Put gas to it, burp your stove, put water to it. But if you happen to get anything beyond that E2, E3s, the E6s, it could be something a little more programming, so do be mindful of that as well. One thing you're always going to make sure is that your gas has finally and fully flown through your system so that we don't get any error codes to our system here. I said burp your stove, so that means we'll come back out here. Let's say our camper hadn't been used in some months. We'll always start with our stove or our outdoor grill. I say your stove first because she's a little further up that LP line there. But we'll come here because either she's gonna cut on or she's not. There are no error codes you'll get with your stove here. If you have proper gas in your system, if those lines are fine with no leaks, you'll get your stove to work like there's no problem. From here, I usually go over to my furnace because it has the exact same igniters. She'll either cut on or she won't. She may have a few errors as well, but that's a little less versed than what your hot water heater will do because once again, that is a full on-demand system. From here, I know I can go to my AC, cut my furnace on, I know my furnace is working properly. Then I can go back into my restroom cut on my hot water heater. I know there's gas here now because I know there's 2 components on the camper themselves that already have gas to them. So I know there's gas here now. I can cut on my hot water, run my hot water heater like normal. That's just the proper way, or at least my way, to properly make sure that I don't get any error codes. And I know my hot water heater will work to its full functionality on those first few tries without any issues. Start with your stove, get that air bubbles out, make sure there's gas going to there slightly, then go over to your furnace and then to your hot water heater. Now, both of those last 2 are interchangeable. You can make sure your stove has gas going through it. You stop seeing orange. You stop seeing the air coming out. You know you just get straight blue flames, meaning you know for a fact that there's no air in those lines. You can come directly here to your unit, cut that on, and she should work with no issue. I like to do that extra step because I'm guaranteeing I don't get any codes here, and I know for a fact there's gas that went through my entire camper. Now, leaving that there, we're going to make our way to our back bedroom here. We do have an AC unit above us here. She will work by operating these nozzles here. So you do have your indicator on that side as well as your indicator on that side. This side is going to be temperature, so you can turn her over adjusting that temperature. Whereas that other side is going to house not only your fan settings on one side, but your AC settings on the other. So this does just have a fan controller in it. Back over here to our bed, we're also going to have a light for above our bed there. Excuse me. In those little crevices, we're also going to have USB-A as well as, what's what I'm looking for? Outlets in those corners. You do have your TV cable hook up here. So there is going to be a little backer in this wall here. Do be mindful you are against the outside of the camper. And now we're going to move into a few safety things here. We're going to start at our front door. Fire extinguisher is right there by the front door. Will usually always be by your front door. Your smoke detector is right here in the hallway. As you can see, she is not directly under your stove, so you don't have to worry too much about your stove causing your smoke detector to go off every single time you decide to use her. Beautiful. Smoke detector is there. Now we're going to go through our emergency window before I come over and talk about our LP detector here. Emergency windows, you're going to have quite a few. So back in this back bedroom here, we'll start with this one here. So pull this screen up. As you can see, it is a dual screen, so you have a lovely little shade, or you actually have the lovely screen itself. But I'll detach her by just pulling that top part away from that bottom part. Pull that screen up, separator. You do have access to this back window here. Now, you have a lever here. This is going to be our seal lever. So this is what's locking our window into our seal, keeping her closed. You'll basically pop that seal off by pulling this lever up. Now, the first few times you do this, or maybe the first time you do this, she may require a little bit of give. That's okay. As long as you're pushing forward, you do not have to worry about damaging nor breaking this window or breaking this lever. You're pushing forward straight out, she will go straight out. Now, as you can see, window open, perfect. You are actually on a hinge here, so you don't have to worry about this window falling on you. But once this lever is fully through here, you can safely exit the camper without worrying about being hurt. If you just want this window open as a little bay window, you also can just have that sitting on that lip there. It does have a little notch in it. So you can have a lovely just outdoor view here, and you can also still pull your screen up, blocking off bugs, or pull your screen down, blocking off sunlight, but also keeping that window open for a nice breeze. To get her to close back, pop her up, pull her in all the way through. You're going with the little knob there to be through, and then you're going to pull that seal lock over. She will have a little tension there, that's okay, and drop her in. Now she's held in place, that seal is pulled back to the window, and she is locked steady. No leaks to worry about. Coming over here, we're on a different type of emergency window. Now this one's a little funky, so I'm gonna see if I can find a proper place to prop you up so we can do it. So, give me a second. With this window here, she's going to actually have tabs on the side here. You'll pull those tabs, and you'll pull that window up. She does have little notches where she will be able to lock in at. That first notch will lock her in right there. Pull those tabs again. second notch will lock her into that top portion there. This is a free screen, so she will just follow behind that window there. You're able to safely exit the camper with no issues. We'll push that screen back down. She locks back in place. And once again, these are just little latches, so pull those in, and she will go past the notches, and then your window is locked, your window is closed. Now from there, you're going to have this outside window here. That works almost the exact same as your latch ones there, but you'll just pull on this lever here, slide it to the side, and that screen will do the exact same thing. She'll slide to the side as well, and you don't have to worry about like the bedroom one and worrying about whether or not there's going to be a window swinging on a swinging on a hinge. Nope, this is freely accessing the outside there. Now to close her, these do close in tandem if you want them to, and they lock and close just in that nature. Now this is your emergency window. That window right there does the exact same thing, but it's not your emergency window. Why? How you can get an emergency out if you kind of run through a table. So that window does do the exact same thing as this one. Screen slides back. Window slides back. Screen will slide back with it. You can close them both in tandem. But we do have this emergency section because your only thing in the way is going to be your couch here. You're also going to have your emergency window right here for your back area, and this will be like the one we saw for that front bedroom as well. Now, from here, I'm going to talk about our LP detector. LP and carbon monoxide detector, right here at the bottom there. This detector can go off with any gas. So, LP is going off, leaking through the system, this will go off. You have aerosol sprays going on, this will go off. I've learned the other day, excuse my language, if you have a little bit of flatulence in this area and it's sitting for too long, this will go off. That is doing it in its functionality. She's operating the way that she should. Perfect. If you are awake, this happens to go off. Let's say we're cleaning our hair, let's say we're cleaning like the counters, or we're cleaning the mirrors or the window with some glass spray. This happens to go off. Perfect. You're awake. You'll hear this beeping sound. This will also turn red and start beeping depending on if the CO or LP gas coming through the system. If it reads that, perfect, it's doing its job. And once again, you're awake, so what you'll do is you'll get up, get back, open up any of your windows in the camper, or open up that front door there. Once that's open, you'll come back over here and press that test/mute button. That'll quiet your system down. She may go off again until those gaseous smell, that gaseous air or those aerosol sprays are off. Now, if you are asleep, you happen to hear this go off, the one and only thing I need you to do is get up, exit the camper, and cut your gas off. Cutting your gas off will guarantee that there is no gas leakage in itself continuing through your camper, even if there is a gas leakage already happening. Because 9 times out of 10, what usually happens is, and this is why this is my favorite feature, you probably walked past here, didn't realize it, and not one of these, and now there's gas flowing through there, and it's been flowing all day. That's why I say these indicator lights are my favorite feature of this camper in itself, safety wise, because as you can see, red lets you know there is gas currently coming through this line. So if even I were to turn my igniter, or if that were to go off at night, that can ignite, that can get hot, that can let that gas out to the air. And once again, like I said, outside, when you press and hold that button in, you're still just letting gas bleed through, and gas does build up. Strike that igniter, you will light up all of that gaseous air that's sitting here. So be mindful of that. But like I said, these are my favorite safety features, even though they do exactly nothing, because I can cut this off and still be able to see that I do have a line on. But in having it on, it lets me know, hey, I plan on touching that today, or I have touched that today, and there's a possibility that this could be the system that is wrong. But if she's off, I wake up, realize, LP detector's going off, run over to my stove. You had nothing wrong with you, there's no light on, indicator lights off, so I know for a fact I haven't touched it today. I cut out one thing in my diagnosis. If I realize I come up to my AC unit and my furnace isn't on, or I haven't even used my furnace in days, that's one other thing to cut off in regards to my my diagnosis. Then I'll come back here to my hot water heater, check that, make sure, like, what if I haven't used gas today, or I haven't touched a hot water heater today, and we ain't showered or whatever, or we haven't washed our hands with hot water, then you know it's not that. You possibly have a leak somewhere, definitely give somebody a call before we do come back and fully operate the camper, or at least fully operate our LP system. Once again, if that gas is off, you won't have to worry too much about it. Definitely leave your door open up some windows, cut on the fan or two, so that gas air can just kind of dissipate on its own. But before we use anything else with our LP, so our stove, outside stove, furnace, or hot water heater, definitely give somebody a call and let them know what's going on so you can get that taken care of before you do happen to come back in the camper. That is going to conclude our tour of this lovely Wildwood here. If you do have any questions or concerns, do not hesitate to give us a call here at Recreation USA, and have yourself a great day.